YouTube, what's going on? BD Wolfgang 1980 here, aka Bad Place to Be in the QCNC. As usual, I hope you're doing well. I certainly am. This is your TNA Impact Wrestling review for November 5th, 2014. Let's get right down to it. Show opened up with a video package of the championship journey for Bobby Roode. He did win the title last week. It was well put together, nicely done video package. From there, Kurt Angle's we go to the ring. Kurt Angle's in there. He introduces Bobby Roode. Of course, Roode comes out. He's got the he's not dressed to compete. He's got a sport coat on, t-shirt, jeans. He's got the title over his shoulder, looking like a champion, just relaxing. Comes out to the ring, full music, full intro. He says, "Words can't describe this moment, how it feels to be champion. Other than his family, pro wrestling is all he has. This is what he loves. This is the most dearest thing to his heart, and that's to his family." He says, "I love pro wrestling. Now that I'm champ, it proves that I'm the best." From there, we get the music of Lashley. Lashley and MVP and Kenny King, they come out and walk down the ramp. MVP has a microphone. He starts trash talking Roode. You ducked and dodged me. I got hurt. Then Lashley took my place, and you manipulated Kurt Angle to give you all these title shots, and that's how you became champion. So he came out downplaying Roode's, title win. He also talks about, hey, now that I'm healthy, why don't you give me a title shot since you're so big and bad, and you're tired of me and Lashley and the rest of us. Hey, give me a title shot. Put your money where your mouth is. Actually, Roode accepted immediately. He accepted the match. But then, as this happened, Lashley was over in the corner. He threw his hands on like, hey, what about me? What about chopped liver over here? I'm the one that just lost the belt. How you getting a title shot? So we have some more dissension in the ranks, some more of those seeds planted. From there, we went to a commercial break, and we cut to a video package of the Hardy Boys, and Low Key's match. Now, what I mean by that is obviously it hasn't happened, but we cut to a video package of both teams' journey to the finals of the tag team tournament, and this is the match that we're going to receive tonight. Looking forward to it. I'm sure you are too. That's why you're watching. I get it. So thank you for your support as well, guys. I can't express to you enough how you pleased me with this channel and how people are watching, and I thank you. I hope I'm living up to the standards that entertains you. So thank you. Let's keep going though. Okay, we get a backstage segment with Samoa Joe and Low Key. Low Key says when he chose Joe, he knew it would guarantee victory. There's not more of a competitive man. There's not more of a fighter out here. There's not more of a tough guy in this roster. He knows they've had their battles. So when he chose Samoa Joe, they can do this. Joe steps in and also says they are about greatness. And at the end of the day, greatness can overcome personal rivalries. And don't worry about us. We're going to work together. Okay, nice promo from Low Key and Samoa Joe. Let's move on here. From there, it's time. Hardy Boys, or the Hardys, versus Samoa Joe in the One World Warrior, Low Key. Here we go, guys. Starts off with Low Key and Jeff. They start things up. Quick exchange of holds. Jeff works Low Key's. He works his arms. They do some nice kicks, some chops. He kind of does some arm drag maneuvers, kind of keeps him grounded, keeps him over in the corner. Tags Matt. He does the same. They keep him worked in the corner. Low Key is able to maneuver out, and he tags Joe, who comes in strong, and he beats down Matt over in the corner in Samoa Joe fashion. You know what I'm talking about. First the punches, then the stomps. From there, Joe tags Low Key. We get multiple chops to the chest, as only Low Key can deliver. You know what I'm talking about. We get a lot of back and forth tags, actually, from both sides. The match just, it picked up and went back and forth. If I'd have wrote every single move for you guys, I'd be still writing just on this match. But, I did my best. But it's lots of back and forth. Then from there, the Hardy Boys execute a double electric chair onto a Low Key, which looked pretty nice. From there, we get a tag. Joe takes it to Jeff. Pretty good. Chops, kicks, a snapmare takeover for a pin, which only gave us a 2 count. From there, we get a commercial break. We come back to the action. From there, Jeff is in control. He hits Joe with a whisper in the wind. Then he's too tired to get the immediate pinfall. Guys, you know what I'm talking about. He gave it all he got on that last move, and instead of immediately getting a quick pin, he just kind of hung out a little bit and then tried to get a pin, but to no avail. From there, we get some more action. Low-key works his way in through a tag. He takes a side effect from Matt. After Matt is tagged in, Matt goes to the pin. We get a 2 count. From here, we had a really nice spot. Very fun, very dangerous. But as far as entertainment value, thumbs up. We had Matt put into the Tree of Woe, which, if some of you are familiar with that, that is when your legs are over the top turnbuckle. You are laying down over all 3 turnbuckles. Your head is on the mat. You are upside down. Okay. Kevin Sullivan popularized this move, at least in my generation. I remember the Tree of Woe being a Kevin Sullivan move. But let's move on. From there, Low-Key jumps off the top rope and delivers a double stomp, which he's known for doing. Let me get to my notes here. Okay, here we go. Yes, he delivers a double stomp to Matt. Only gets a 2 count because Jeff jumps in and stops the pin. So from there, Joe gets back into the match. He puts Matt into the choke. You know, he's trying to do the coquina clutch, I believe it's called. And Jeff does a swanton on top of Matt just to save the match, to keep the tap out going because, you know, through the impact, he hurt Joe. From there, Low-Key gets back into the action. Jeff swantons Low-Key. Matt hits him with a moonsault. So we had a double combination, double finisher. Went off very nicely. Looked like Low-Key might have hurt his leg. I don't know if that was just kayfabe. Jeff did kind of land the swanton across his leg a little bit, but he was definitely selling that injury. Guys, comment down below if you know that was a real injury or not. But from there, we got, like I said, a swanton. We got a moonsault. We got a 1, a 2, and a 3. And the Hardys are they're the winners of the tag team tournament. So there you go, guys and gals. It's happened. We're going to see the Hardys for the titles versus the Wolves. Definitely a good match. Definitely a good tournament. Makes for a good filler. I enjoyed it. Hopefully you did too. Comment down below. Who's going to win next week? Who do you want to see win? The Wolves, the Hardys? Okay. I also wrote in my notes, good match with a couple exclamation points. Definitely enjoyed it. All right, here's, once again, this is what I really enjoyed. Guys, we had a backstage segment. James Storm is back there campaigning to Davey Richards again, okay? He hasn't given up. He's back there telling them, look, you know, join us, join me. I didn't know for years that I was being held back. I didn't even know it. I wasn't even aware of it. But I'm telling you, if I had a guy come to me like I'm doing you, who knows where my career could be? I'm trying to help you out. But my kindness is only going to go so long, so far. He tells him he has 1 week to give him an answer. And that's how that segment ends. Very intriguing, just the way I want it, short to the point. I've also expressed in other videos that I'm enjoying this, this revolution. The James Storm, the Manic, the Sonata, the Temptation. And I like how they've kind of gone with it. To me, it's not like a Bray Wyatt style. They were getting real close there a few weeks ago, guys. Comment down below. They were getting a little close there, but now I like the direction they're taking. They kind of turned the wheel a little bit. To me, I don't pick up a Bray Wyatt vibe at all. Comment down below. From there, we get a locker room segment by Rude. He's getting ready to compete. He talks about his past with MVP, how, if we all remember, when MVP was in charge, before Kurt Angle became the director of operations, it was the MVP who sent Bobby Roode home, I believe, 7 weeks or 6 weeks. And he brings that up, and then he starts to go from being calm to getting intense. He says he's going to prove why he's a 2-time champion on MVP tonight. And you guys, think about Roode's position. Think about how long he's waited to say that now. He can now say, I'm the 2-time TNA champion. He always had to say, I'm the longest reigning TNA champion. At least now we can maybe take that out of the vernacular and just say, now I'm a 2-time champion. So I enjoyed the segment. It was quick to the point. From there, we had a Sam Shaw video package showing the complete history as far as his meeting and getting to know and befriending Gunner. Started with him being in the nut house, straight jackets, Gunner coming to visit him. From there, Gunner getting him signed out, saying that he talked to doctors and let them care for him, and he'll supervise him. From there, weirded out by catching him in the the military uniform and seeing the tattoos. Shaw just says, hey, I just, I want to be like you. I want to be a hero. From there, Brittany comes on the scene, and then we fast forward to where we are now. Obviously, last week, if you didn't know, I'll let you know. Last week, Shaw turned on Gunner and attacked him with a steel chair at the end of the match, a tag match. So let's fast forward to where we are now. We have Brittany, the lovely Brittany, and Samuel Shaw in the ring. And guys, I'm gonna stop right here. I have to stop just to be fair and to give her just due. Brittany was killing it tonight. If you hadn't seen this, go out of your way to see it. She was that strong. Hats off. Hats off. Let me continue. Shaw cuts a promo about being a charity case to Gunner, never really being his friend. And he didn't know it, didn't realize it until Brittany opened his eyes. From there, Brittany grabs the mic. She does a little bit of talking. She says, Gunner was never your real friend, Samuel. And Christy, hear me? Ha! She couldn't appreciate your artistic views and the way you think, the way you appreciate things of beauty. So, she's out of here. And also, neither one of them can do what I do for you. And she smiles, as only a beautiful woman can smile at a man. Gunner comes out, music and all, says, Sam, you were a friend, but you let her get in the way. And instead of just one, now we have a pair of creepy blanks. And I think you know what I'm talking about, guys. I run a clean channel here, but if you remember the catchphrase that was started for Samuel Shaw when he first came out from Ken Anderson, creepy. 1, 2, 3, creepy. You know what I'm talking about. He called them a pair of creepies. He attacks Shaw. And from there, as Gunner's getting a better hand on Shaw, Brittany jumps on his back. And, Gunner's a hero. He's a real man. He's not going to beat up Brittany, but he's trying to get her off of his shoulders. From there, Shaw delivers a low blow and then puts Gunner into the, I said Joe because I was thinking of the chokehold, but he puts Gunner into the chokehold that he does. And I forget what he calls it, guys. Forgive me. And I actually like Samuel Shaw. Comment down below. Tell me what he calls that finisher he does. But he puts Gunner to sleep. The segment ended with him and Brittany making out in the ring. And there you have it. This storyline, this feud continues. From there, we get here we go, guys, some debut action. We got a video package of a new wrestler from India. His name is Mohabali Shera. It was either Mojave or Mohabali Shera. I pride myself on getting your names right, guys, out there. So if I'm wrong, someone correct me. But Mohabali Shera, he stands at 6'4", 250 pounds. He is, as I said earlier, he's from India, so he is a Hindu descent. Good look, very big guy, thick in shape, good chest and arms. So he definitely looks like he's going to be like a tough guy. I don't know how athletic he is. They didn't get into all that. But let me continue. He's spoken good pronunciation English, but it was broken English. You could tell he was choosing, having to think and choose his words. They said in English that he wants to be the very best. He wants to make India proud. From there, Kurt Angle took over the video segment and was putting this guy over pretty good. He said, Mohabali is, I saw him out. I saw him one time, and I said to TNA, we got to get this guy. I went to India. I recruited him. They did show a lot of press clippings. They showed a few video segments. The guy is well known in India. And guys, some of you might be saying, oh, Bezell, that's just, no, it's not. That's not TNA being propaganda. Guys, get it straight. Why in the world do you think a man like the Great Khali has a job? Get real, okay? WWE, TNA, all the promotions, you want to have a star representing an international country. Wrestling's big over there. Don't ever get it twisted. It's huge. And now TNA has a shot at signing this guy. He's a young guy. He's got a good look. We'll see what happens with it. But Mohabali Shera, keep that name in your minds, okay? But as I said, Kurt Angle puts him over and says he brought him here where he can train and work with the best. Kurt Angle even said he could be a world champion, but he also said it's up to him. All righty, let's move on here. Backstage, MVP was signing some papers with a backstage hand, and MVP confronts him and actually thanks him for making this all easy. He said, man, I just played you into exactly what I wanted. You gave me exactly what I wanted. And thank you for the title match tonight. And Angle smiles, takes it all in stride and says, yeah, but at what cost? And he walks off. Okay, a little bit of a page turner there. Show moves on. It's time for some hardcore match action here. We have Bram and Magnus versus Brother Devon and Tommy Dreamer, two hardcore legends versus two younger guys trying to still make a name for himself. All due respect to Magnus, at the end of the day, whether you love him or hate him, he is a former world heavyweight champion, and in my book, that goes a long way. But let's get on with the match. Devon and Dreamer run out while Bram and Magnus were just still coming down the ramps doing their intros. Nah, you want hardcore? Well, fellas, you got it. So they ran on out. The action gets going. We got broomsticks, guardrail shots, trash can lids, cookie sheets, you name it. Devon and Dreamer are taking it to the young Brits. From there, Magnus was able to fandangle and work his way into grabbing that turnbuckle that they love to carry down there, and he struck Devon with it in that same injured leg. From there, you know, Devon is kind of down for the count, and then the Brits take over. We get a drop toe hold onto a chair by Magnus to Dreamer. Nice spot. You know, they kept it looked good enough. They kept it safe. You know, we're not trying to kill anybody out here, but it looked good enough. Let's see. From there, we got a double big back body drop from the Brits to Dreamer as well. From, like I said, they took Devon out with that turnbuckle, so he's down and out. So from there, they turn their attention to Dreamer, and we just got those two nice spots. Devon is able to get back in there and slowly work over some damage. He's just delivering some big punches. From there, we got the Brits getting ready to do a double superplex to poor Dreamer. Devon rolls up under. We get a Tower of Doom spot. Obviously, Devon was in control because he was at the bottom. So from there, he runs out of the ring. He gets a table. And he and Bram have an exchange on the apron of the ring. Bram loses that exchange, falls through the table. Magnus gets a kendo stick, attacks Devon till Dreamer hits Magnus with the kendo stick of his own. From there, quick, 1, 2, 3. If you'd have blinked, you would have missed it. We got a double arm DDT. Magnus is down for the count. Dreamer gets the pin. 1, 2, 3. There's your winners. Devon and Dreamer. Not the best match, not the worst either. I actually put in my notes it was a typical match, but fun. So I'll take it. Is this storyline going to continue? Is it going to stop? Personally, I could be happy either way. I'd actually probably be happy if it kind of stopped. But, I mean, I just don't want them to drop the ball on Bram. That's my main concern. Magnus will be okay. Magnus will be just fine, whether they work this together gimmick or not. They can find something for Magnus. At the end of the day, you know, they'll have the European or the London tour coming up soon. They'll figure something out for him. But I just don't want them to drop the ball on Magnus. I'm not too comfortable with, you know, the veterans. I hate to use the term older guys, but the veterans going over on the new talent like this. It's kind of a waste a little bit, but just I'll be patient. We'll see how it works out in the long run. But your winners, Tommy Dreamer and Brother Devon. From there, we get a backstage segment. Gail Kim is telling Havoc that, you know, not Havoc personally, but telling the camera that, you know, Havoc, she better be ready. She's coming after her tonight, and she's taking her title back. Quick, short, to the point promo. From there, this got interesting, and I definitely didn't see this coming. Rockstar Spud comes to the ring, guys. He looks out, he's coming down the ring, had a nice intense look on his face. Still dressed like a clown, but he had an intense look. And also, I commented on my notes, I thought he was fired, but he came out with full music and everything. But let's continue. Jeremy Borash is in the ring and asks him about the past few weeks. Spud says immediately, fans, you know, viewers at home, don't feel sorry for me. I asked for all this, and I did. As soon as I got here, I aligned myself with Madam Dixie Carter, EC3, and I did some terrible things I'm not proud of. So I asked for this. Don't feel sorry for me. I deserved what I got. And he also says he's not proud of what he's done. The crowd, from the moment he started talking and kind of came out there, they were completely behind him. Spud began to come off pretty intense. He actually called EC3 a wanker, which is a term used in his country. And he also says, I don't need you anymore. From there, the crowd starts to chant, he's a wanker. EC3's heard enough. His music hits. He comes out with the big Tyrus standing behind him. From there, he got he received the you're a wanker chant, which was very nice. Like I said, guys, the crowd was really eating it up. They were backing Spud. They've been wanting this, I guess. It was fun. I rocked and rolled with it too. Let's continue. He says that Spud is absolutely pathetic, and you're all a bunch of losers. As far as the crowd's concerned, he even calls out poor Jeremy Borash, saying, Jeremy, you wouldn't have nothing wasn't for the Carters. You wouldn't even have a career. How dare you come out here and perpetuate this madness? So he says, Spudge, if you had any common sense, you would just apologize right now. And, you know, man up, apologize to me. Maybe we'll take it back, maybe not. But either way, that's a chance you got to take to apologize. We get a no chant from the crowd. I'm trying to think. The timing might have been a little bit different from a Daniel Bryan no chant. I'm trying to decipher that. I'm not sure. I just don't like when they do the yes or no chants in TNA. I just don't like that. I know that's the fans' right to do and what they cheer, what they please, they buy a ticket. To me, I just wish there was something else as TNA fans we could say and chant that is completely our own and still show that type of enthusiasm. But at the end, you know, let me move on. Okay, like I said, he calls out Jeremy Borash, tells him he would have nothing. He says Spud should apologize. We get the no chant. As from there, Tyrus grabs Spud in a bullying manner, full Nelson maneuver. At this point, EC3 is in his face. He's like, hey, I said apologize. You know, we can do this the easy way or the hard way. Puts the microphone in his face. Spud says no. They shake him up, rough him up a little bit more, tighten the grip on him. Asks him again, you better apologize. Microphone to the face. Spud says, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I was like, oh man, poor guy. And it says, I'm sorry, you're a D-bag. And if you don't know what that means, you have to look it up. Your old pal Bezell can't tell you. But he says you're a D-bag. And then from there, oh yeah, excuse me. From there, EC3, excuse me guys, let me back a little bit. I had to turn the page, got a little threw off for a second. After Spud slaps him, EC3 angrily is getting ready to cold cock poor Spud while he's being held by Tyrus. And Jeremy Borash tried to intervene. I think he just kind of just touched EC3. He was like, sir, please don't hurt him, From there, Jeremy Borash got the taste slapped out of his mouth. He falls down to the floor. And then Spud is able to break free, and he jumps EC3. He gets the shots in he can, but to no avail. They scoop him up. They get ready to pretty much pay him a lesson. EY runs out with a chair. Good old Eric Young. He clears the ring, and that's how the segment ends with him helping up Spud and the bad guys taking a run. EC3 and Tyrus got on out of there. I know they're big and tough, but EY with that chair, hey, live to fight another day. That's what heels do. So they got out of there. Fun segment. I wrote that with 2 exclamation points, guys. Fun segment. The crowd was completely eating it up. They want it. It's going to happen. I just hope they work it right with the whole Spud situation. All right. From there, it's knockouts time. We come back to the ring. It's Gail Kim versus Havoc for the Knockouts title match. Gail comes out first. She is still selling the injury. Okay, so question answered. Guys, if you saw my preview video yesterday, I wonder what she's still going to be selling. She was. Okay, question answered. As Havoc comes out, Gail rushes up the ramp to meet her, and then a brawl ensues. Okay, here we go. Rushes up the ramp to meet her. They break out into a brawl. Havoc delivers a big boot, and then she starts to take control of Gail. They're still fighting outside. They never made their way to the ring. The referee is outside pleading with them to get into the ring so we can officially start the match. Gail goes head first into the ring post from a push, or maybe it was I'm not sure if it was a push or an Irish whip into the ring post from Havoc. And let me tell you, you want to talk about selling? Gail Kim, the ABCs of pure clean work, the ABCs of selling. And let me tell you, she sold this hit. It looked awesome. Let's see, where am I at here? Okay. Oh, excuse me, guys. Sorry about that. She gets thrown into the ring post for a perfect sell job. From there, she drags Gail Kim up the ramp by her hair. Gail gets up. She misses a eat defeat, but from there gets thrown off the stage, and Havoc laughs this sinister laugh as she stands on the rampway and poor Gail is on the concrete. From there, we got a commercial break. We come back. Jeremy Borash is announcing to the crowd that this match will not continue. It has been canceled due to the injury to Gail Kim. The referees are not going to allow it. Gail snatches the mic from JB and says it will continue. So she accepts her own fate. I even wrote in my notes, big mistake. Guys, you can smell it and see this coming a mile away once she accepted that match in her condition. But the bell rings, and Havoc puts the boots to Gail. Another hammerlock slam, guys. The same move that injured Gail weeks ago. Let's see. Gail fights back, but she gets thrown outside. Havoc misses an axe handle, yet slams Gail face first into the steps. And let me tell you, it was ugly. It was nasty. Lots of impact. No pun intended. From there, Havoc gets into the ring. Gail is in, dreamland. The referee is counting out, as far as making his way to a 10 count. He gets to 9. Havoc grabs Gail, throws her back in, says to Gail's face, "I'm not finished with you yet. You think it was going to be that easy?" Gail actually mounts a little bit of a comeback. She must have got a win back after staying outside for the 9 count. She does an octopus special or octopus submission. Over on the other company, there's a certain diva that does it. She calls it the Black Widow, so you know what I'm talking about. But due to Havoc's size, Gail ends up taking a white noise slam. And once again, that's another move from over there. But you know what I'm talking about, guys. Let's not be cute. She takes a white noise slam as a reversal to that octopus special. Gail hits Havoc with a bulldog. Nicely done. Also, a flying crossbody off the top rope, but only for a 2 count. Once again, Gail receives a hammerlock slam later on, but this only gives a 2 count as well. Gail is really fighting, guys. She is not giving up one bit. Gail hits the eat defeat, but it's countered for a goozle. And like I said before, old school, basically, to break it down for some of you that are new to the channel, if you don't know or new to wrestling, a goozle is basically what they call, when I was growing up, when you got grabbed by the throat, as far as get ready to take a choke slam, or maybe a tongue and death grip, that was always called a goozle. And that, for me, it was always funny, so it never left me. But she takes a goozle. But and get ready to do the Harlot Slayer, but Gail is able to counter out of it. Gail goes for a punch off the top rope to try to stop Havoc while she's still reeling from that counter, but unfortunately, Gail gets caught with a goozle off the top rope. Harlot Slayer, 1, 2, 3. Havoc is your winner, still your Knockouts champion. Good match. I enjoyed it. Little short. They sold injury in it, but as I said in the preview yesterday, I was ready to let loose on Havoc tonight, but she looked good. Not great, but good. Definitely her best outing since she's been in TNA. Comment down below. Tell me what you guys thought. I thought she looked a heck of a lot cleaner and crisper. Tell me what you thought, please. It's all about you guys around here. But your winner was Havoc, and she's still your Knockouts champion. All right, things got interesting again. We get a backstage segment with Mohabali Shera. He's going in the cafeteria. He's got no one to sit with. They kind of show him walking to his table and seeing other people eating and enjoying company and sitting down and having a good time. He sits by himself. He's still the new guy. Not only the new guy on the block, the new guy in the country. Sits down, and all of a sudden, Manic comes up. "Hey, what's going on, buddy? Hey, how you, sir? Hey, how you doing? Don't call me sir. My name is Manic. Hey, how you know? Hey, I know what it's like to be the guy in a new country. Obviously hinting at his time in Japan. Manic is being very nice to Mohabali and asks him to, hey, tell me more about you. And that's how the segment ends. So it looks like already the manipulation of the Redneck Revolution of James Storm's stable does not just stop and end with James Storm doing the campaigning. Obviously, I had Manic doing some campaigning last week with the whole Davey Richards segment and Eddie Edwards. But this time we got full-blown on mic Manic talking. We hear his voice, being a character. He was coming across very, very jovial, very easygoing. Wasn't doing any weird gestures or weird voices. He just came across as, hey, no, tell me, Manic, how's it going, man? I know what it's like to be the new guy. Tell me about yourself. So he came off as this nice guy, and that's how the segment ended. Once again, leaving us some intriguing moments. You got to have gimmicks in wrestling, guys. I like the storyline. I enjoyed it. From there, we get MVP and Lashley backstage. Lashley's packing up his suitcase. MVP is like, yo, what's going on, man? You leaving? Hey. Lashley doesn't say a word in his usual fashion. He keeps packing, zips up the case, get ready to walk out the door. MVP's like, hey, man, I had your back when you were the champion, and, you're going to leave me hanging like this? It's my time. I might be champion tonight. Lashley just looks him in his eyes with an intimidating stare. He walks out. He's gone. All right, guys, it's time. It's main event time. The World Heavyweight Championship is on the line. MVP versus the champion, Bobby Roode. From there, we get both intros. Bell rings, both men lock horns. Here we go. MVP gets in a cheap shot. He takes control early. He hits a double arm underhook suplex to Roode. Only gets a 2 count. You're going for that a little too early, my friend, but I understand the value of just trying to get a pin. This is pro wrestling, but you ain't pinning a world champion that quick. Roode hits an elbow off of an Irish whip from MVP as a counter. A good, solid, stiff one, too. MVP thumbs the eye of Roode, and then from there, he gets back control, stays on Roode. He delivers a big boot once the action goes outside. Attacks Roode with the rail, throws him back inside. He gets a 2 count pin attempt. Let's see here. Roode fights back, but gets cut off again. Takes the ballin' elbow, only for a 2 count after a bridge suplex from MVP, which looks pretty good too. MVP was, like I was saying, he stayed on him. Once he threw him in the ring, move after move, that nice ballin' elbow from that got Roode up to this suplex, but only a 2 count. The crowd starts to get into it. They're firing Roode up. Roode hits a beautiful spine buster. Double A on Anderson would be proud. Only for a 2 count though. Roode then hits a superplex on MVP. MVP later counters a Roode bomb attempt. He was just barely lucky to get out of that one, guys. Let me tell you, because like I say, he took that superplex. Roode is getting on fire. He's getting on point at this point. Let's see. After he countered the Roode bomb, MVP landed a nice kick to the head. It wasn't his full-blown finisher. It's usually that kick is a little bit crisper, or maybe it was meant to be. Maybe it was a botch. I'm not sure. Comment down below, tell me what you thought. But he ended up landing a kick to the head, but only got a 2 count. He picks up Roode, goes for the playmaker. You guys remember that move. I don't know if they still call it that in TNA now, but he goes for the playmaker. But it gets countered into a Roode bomb. 1, 2, 3. Your winner by Roode. Decent match. Felt rushed, as you can tell by my review of it. They didn't start the match, guys, till there was about 7.5 to 8 minutes of showtime left. So right then and there, I knew that this was going to be a quick one. We get a 1, 2, 3, but the show's not over yet, folks. I didn't say it was over. Lashley runs in. We all thought he was gone. He spears the celebrating champion Roode, and as Roode is laid out, he walks over by MVP. MVP is still selling his injuries, trying to get up on one, trying to get back up to his feet. He reaches his hand out to Lashley to ask for a little help getting up. Lashley just waves him off and keeps walking. So, dissension in the ranks. How's this going to play out? Is Lashley just going to be a one-man army? Is he going to go face? Are they going to make up? What's going to happen with that? An intriguing episode. I'm not going to say it knocked my socks off. I enjoyed it, don't get me wrong. Maybe TNA has set the bar too high within themselves over the past summer. They're putting on good matches, but they better be careful. They might want to back off just a little bit. But on the other side, I know they need a TV deal. So it's either do or die. They can't back off. But guys, hopefully not getting disenchanted with it. I'm still enjoying it. Obviously I am. I'm doing this review for you, and I hope you enjoy the reviews. But they did say next week we're going to obviously see the finish of the tag team tournament, the Wolves versus the Hardys. And also it said that we're going to get Lashley versus Austin Aries. Now, how this is going to happen, we'll just have to wait and see. All right. I enjoyed it. Good episode. The storylines were progressing. That I can really sink my teeth into. But what did you think? It's about you. Tell me what you think. Guys, don't be shy. Like I said, these videos have been getting a lot of support lately. So people, you're watching. Please comment. I want to hear your thoughts. Comment down below. I'll interact with you. Tell a friend, share, like. Let's try to build a channel. Stay tuned. I've got some Lucha Underground reviews coming for you today. I'm going to be doing those very shortly. I'm going to try to do episode 1 and episode 2 for you today. So if that's something you're interested in, if that's something you've heard of or want to hear what the hype is about, if it's something you'd like to just hear my opinion on, stay tuned, subscribe. I'm going to try to crank those out for you here shortly. But until then, thanks for stopping by. Have a good day. Be good to one another. Till then, your old pal Bezell. I'll see you later. Bezell out.